Okay, my friends. Pleasant good afternoon, Trinidad and Tobago. On to our program, Hardfacts. Those of you who have been anticipating our program today, and maybe, my friends, you are going to really and truly understand that this program is a mind-blowing program where we identify the atrocities, the anomalies that has been perpetrated upon the hardworking citizens of our country, Trinidad and Tobago. We talk about relevant issues. We talk about issues that is day to day. We talk about issues that is happening in our communities. We talk about issues that is happening around the world. And as I talk about around the world, my friends, I want to extend our deepest heartfelt sympathies to the families of those persons who were in that, that accident that took place with those at the air collision, that is the airplane and the helicopter there. So again, my friends, those of you who are locked on, you're going to realize that this program, Hardfacts, is your program, where we create that voice for the voiceless. You have that opportunity to call us at 372-2129. The number is on our screen. And let us know what is taking place in your communities. Whether it is something that is good, whether it is something that is positive. Maybe there is crime happening in your communities and you would like to share, you would like to highlight what has transpired in your community. Feel free to text, feel free to call us, because this program is your program. Those of you having your midday meals, and I just want to remind you all that there is a barbecue at the Asja Markaz in Charleville. That is at the Charleville Masjid. The Asja complex in Charleville, they are hosting a fundraising barbecue. The tickets are $50. And those of you who are in the vicinity of Charleville, Shogunas, and you would like to patronize and participate in a very tasty barbecue that is presently being held at the Charleville Asha complex in Charleville. Right? So just to remind you, all those things we are here for. We are here to identify, we are here to highlight, and again, my friends, we are here to discuss issues that is, something that will really and truly either change our horizon or really and truly identify some of the steps that we can make in our future endeavors. Right? So again, I am your host, Imam Rashid Karim, my co-host, Mr. Premchand Baldev. He is ready and he's waiting for his cue. So Prem, go ahead.
Imam, you put me in a jolly mood. So my friends, again, thank you very much, our Reverend Imam. Welcome to our program, Hardfacts on Sentinel Media Live Broadcasting. We are here with you Mondays, Wednesdays, and Saturdays from approximately 12:15 p.m. bringing you current issues that is happening in Trinidad and Tobago, in our beloved Twin Island Republic, what is happening in around the Caribbean and around the world, major news, local news, and simple news also. Now, my friends, one of the biggest cancer in our country, for whatever reason, is that we as a people, we insist, and I use the word insist in bold letters, we insist on electing leaders who knows nothing how to build, who have built nothing, who have no vision of building anything. And we wonder why, when we elect them and put them into office, we wonder why they don't build anything. We wonder why they don't create anything. Most of them are good at political oratory. What does that mean? They are clever, wise speakers. They know how to woo and to sway the normal, simple person who possesses the power of the trigger finger, the index finger. That is the finger you dip in the red ink. They know how to sing a political song. We care. We are ready. We will serve you. Many, many political songs. They know how to invite you and to woo you into filling a stadium where they would host their beautiful political meetings and where they will promise you things that they cannot do, will not do, was not in their manifesto. They don't have a vision about it. They are going to promise you that. They are going to promise you a better life, a better education system, a better healthcare system, a better infrastructural internal country system. They are going to promise you the moon and the stars, Jupiter and Mars. They are going to promise us a safe society to live in, where living will be affordable, taxes will be minimal. And what happens, friends? 9 years in governance, 9 years in opposition, all the promises remain as it were, Imam.
Correct.
Promises.
Promises, promises.
Promises never materialize. So my friends, with these opening remarks, I see the Imam, his itinerary is filled. So it is only fitting I hand over to him now, and I will butt in here and there in the program to the Imam.
Okay, so again, my friends, just to begin our program, basically what really and truly is alarming, and last week, those of you who have been watching our program, we spoke about the firearms, right? We talked about firearms, and we asked, the Commissioner of Police at that time. But at this point in time, you're going to realize that the headline and the breaking news in our country, Trinidad and Tobago, is the Commissioner of Police have been arrested. You understand? That has been really and truly the talk of the town.
Imam, let me just say something here. To our viewers in Trinidad and Tobago, calls have been coming in on my phone and the Imam phone from Guyana, Suriname, Brazil, from India, from Japan, Suriname, from my friends in Nepal who look at this program and they want to know what is happening. So we put them on hold. We keep them in the curious mode. Look at the program.
Look at the program today. So again, my friends, that is really and truly, mind-boggling in the true sense of the words. Because we are seeing tits and bits, right? We are seeing tits and bits being bandied around. And we are seeing people on the defensive mode. Even so much so, the TTPS, those persons who are in authority at this point in time, really and truly, the question is going to be asked. The question is going to be asked. What examples have been set? We on this program, Sentinel Media Broadcasting, Hardfacts, we have been identifying in a most subtle manner the anomalies that has been perpetrated by the criminal elements in our country. And we have been talking tirelessly about, the service that has been offered by the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service. And here it is, my friends, today, a couple of days after our program, we are seeing the commissioner, breaking news, the commissioner of police have been arrested, and at this point in time, 2 criminal charges will be laid against her. Now, I want to ask you all something, Trinidad and Tobago. Right now, presently, we have an acting commissioner of police, right? And again, the United National Congress, they are making a plea, they are making a call on the government of the day to convene parliament as urgent as possible so that they can discuss the reinstatement or, again, putting or installing a new commissioner of police, because that is the integral part of the safety when it comes to Trinidad and Tobago being a lawless or lawful country where law is being observed. Right? I just want to let you all know that those of you who are locked on, maybe you can call us at 372-2129. Give us your take. Tell us what do you think. Because I tell you something, in the history of Trinidad and Tobago, it seems as though 2024, 2025 really and truly is a year to watch, watch in a manner that, scrutinize every inch of it. Because I tell you something, when we look at the international scenario, since President Donald Trump was elected, we are seeing a lot of natural disasters. We are seeing a lot of calamities, a lot of disasters occurring. And here it is, just how many days, Prem? Today is the 1st of February, right? And we are talking about 35 murders in our country. We're talking about more than one person is dying every single day in our country. And I would have seen justification, I would have seen this happening, justification stating that the SOE is really and truly working. Now, if that is the crime initiative that you all want to use, then basically you have to have a curfew for the whole year.
Yes.
That is what the DCP is talking about. The Deputy Commissioner of Police is stating that the SOE is a success in reducing gang murders and violent crime. I just try to understand something here, right? Prem, we live in Trinidad.
That statement by the DCP is a misleading statement. All right? We have 30 to 31 murders recorded. There are others that were not recorded. Okay? And you have the audacity, Mr. or Madam DCP, because there are 3 DCPs, to address this nation and say that the SOC is working. It has, put a dent on crime and murders. No, it has not. We should have had no murders.
A lot of people.
None.
A lot of people. If you look at headline news. 3 persons were killed by the police in Shogunas as they attempt as a robbery was going to take place or was taking place. Right? We're talking about that. So here it is, the Commissioner of Police is saying something, and we are seeing something else.
But the fact is, the robbery was about to be committed or already committed, and the police intervened, thanks to the Shogunas police. Now, people, now Trinidad and Tobago, in our program Hard Facts, we have been lamenting the fact that our central businessmen and our central residents and those in the neighborhood of the central area, the criminal elements are zooming into the central area. Hence, the central area is a feeding ground for criminal activity.
It is right? At this point in time.
And the Shogunas Chamber of Commerce late last year, after we have said it on this program, that a partial state of emergency and maybe a partial SOA and maybe a state, this nighting we call it? Curfew, right? Should be implemented in parts of the country. Definitely for Shogunas. Definitely. Now, Imam, as you are on the appointment of the Deputy Commissioner, I don't think a Deputy Commissioner has been appointed as yet. All right? Now, my friends, how does presently the Commissioner of Police is in police custody, so to speak, and is being assisting the police in whatever investigation that is being carried out? Now, that's a very sensitive issue. All right? The Police Service Commission has the power to revoke the appointment of the Commissioner of Police. All right? As advised by the Cabinet or the Prime Minister, and it has the power to trigger a process to appoint a new Commissioner of Police. The Police Service Commission will send a document, a letter to the President with the names of the of the people who are in line to become Commissioner of Police. The President, in her wisdom, and with her lawyers and advisors, will appoint, as it is stated, the most senior individual for the time being. Right. For the time being. To act as the Commissioner of Police. Because a country without a Commissioner of Police, my friends, is like a farm filled with headless chickens. Exactly. Right? Now, just Imam. Based on the on talks between the opposition and the government, see how important the opposition is, and the opposition keeps telling this country, when you're in opposition, you use nobody, you are under power, you are under say. The government must consult with you, right? If Commissioner of Police could be appointed substantively, permanently in the near future. Exactly. Right? Exactly, and you know something, you know what is a lamenting, this is a very, very lamenting situation. When we hear, I want to ask a question, Trinidad and Tobago. Who is the Prime Minister at this point in time? Who is the Prime Minister? That is like asking who is the Commissioner of Police at this point in time. Who is the Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago at this point in time? We are headless. Because I tell you something, I am telling you, so everybody have the audacity in their minds in certain areas to say, well, here, Stuart Young has already been named the Prime Minister, but I know for a fact that the Prime Minister of the country is the Honorable Keith Rowley. But this is why I'm saying here, when Keith Rowley, I think, the more he stays quiet, it is going to be better for him. The more Dr. Keith Rowley, remains silent, because, in our scriptures, the hadith or the sayings of the Prophet tells us that the best advice is to remain silent. A still tongue keeps a wise head. Right. So when we are hearing and we are seeing this, Director, maybe you could pull it up. The Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago, right, is disappointed. Look at the statement that the Prime Minister is making. PM Rowley, disappointed by cops' arrest. Explain that to me, Trinidad and Tobago. Why is he disappointed? Why is he disappointed? Now that statement, that is why, the English language sometimes it is confusing. Let us dissect that statement that the Prime Minister is saying. The Prime Minister is saying that I am disappointed with Ola arrest. Now, what does he mean? Does it mean that she should not be arrested? Exactly. That is exactly. Does it mean he made the wrong choice? Exactly. Were you disappointed in the working ability with the results that the former Commissioner of Police, Gary Griffith, was delivering to this country? And even so, if that is the case, Prem, then you would realize that his making that proclamation statement
it is better for him to remain silent because, you know, he just have a couple of days more. And I would realize from that statement he making there that he is not leaving. He's not leaving. You know, there's a song,
Me not leaving.
Yeah, me not leaving.
Yeah.
I don't think he's leaving. I think, you know what he's doing? He's just testing the soil, looking at the, you know, looking at if the voters of the PNM would rebel against Stuart Young, and then he will come back in fury and he will take back his realm. I think so. I mean, Trinidad and Tobago, maybe some of you might be a little more politically intelligent than us. So maybe you can give us a call, 372-2129.
I have a question, Imam, for you and for our viewing public, Trinidad and Tobago. Mr. Prime Minister, you were asked a question by a reporter who is a dangerous reporter, so to speak, in asking tough questions. That, are you satisfied or are you disappointed with the performance and the results of Commissioner of Police Erla Christopher? And you said that you are not going to discuss her I can't get the right word right now, but to discuss the results of her performance in public. But here you are saying you are disappointed in her arrest. Were you disappointed in her non-performance or underperformance or lack of performance as the head of the police service? You need to answer this question.
I think he is disappointed in the choice that he has made. And
but say so.
And basically he cannot say that because you know why? He have already built up this amount of garbage, right? To really and truly to swallow it back, it is a really hard thing. So my friends, Trinidad and Tobago, we are in a really, really sad state because Trinidad and Tobago have made history where the commissioner of police, I don't think in previous time, any commissioner was arrested.
There was one. Former Commissioner Randolph Burrows was arrested and placed before the courts. I recall that.
And he was arrested, but you know, in this case here, in this case, what we are seeing, my friends, is that, you know, this individual was a special, selected, chosen individual, handpicked, because we would have realized that maybe she could have done the job the best of all. And here it is today, my friends, we see that basically those very said individuals who have made selections are claiming in national media that they are disappointed with the selection that they have made, because that is how I am reading that comment that the Prime Minister have made. Let's take a break, and when we come back, my friends, those of you who are calling, texting, we would like to hear your voice. Not only text. Please, 372-2129, let us know what is taking place. This is a forum that we have created, and we would like to, you know, really and truly lift this podium, and we would like you all to join with us and let us know what is taking place in and around your neighborhood. Let us know what is happening in your boroughs, in your corporations, and let us, you know, identify and try to see how we can be able to assist one another so that we can have a better Trinidad and Tobago. Director?
So welcome back, friends, to our program Hard Facts on Sentinel Media Live Broadcasting. My friends, we just received some calls during the break period here, and callers are saying that Imam and Prem, you all are asking us to call your program live and speak and that sort of thing. But some of them are saying that they prefer to send their text messages and their videos. Others are saying that this program is being so real, it is being so so much to the point that what is happening here, that they are afraid excuse me, of causing tension among their friends and among people who they would like to say things about, or what is happening in their neighborhood. Some of them are afraid of bad blood being created because their voice will be heard on air. Some of them are even afraid of reprisals. So whatever you are afraid of, my friends, the Imam and I here, think about it. If you should be sitting in these two chairs here, would you be afraid? No, you should not be afraid.
Be afraid of what?
This is a democratic country. You have freedom of speech. We have freedom of information.
And not only that, what we are doing here, my friends, is what the public of Trinidad and Tobago is supposed to be doing. If somebody come here and they say, look, Imam, give us the opportunity to be on this program and let us, maybe take the show for a couple of months or something, we don't have a problem. We have a certain criteria in our program, Hard Facts, where we identify the anomalies, the real facts. And you know what? We don't lament in the past, and we don't predict what's going to happen in the future. We talk about everyday issue, and we talk about things that is really and truly affecting Trinidad and Tobago. This action that is being taken at this present time, the Commissioner of Police have been arrested. Do you think that is something that what happened with tourism in our country? Huh? What is happening? We have already been branded as a gang state, right? And you all know for a fact, Prim, you know this, that over 1,700, right, criminal elements who have been,
would be deported back to Trinidad.
Been, living abroad, they're going to be deported into our country back. And you know something? When we see things like that, the Commissioner of Police being arrested, it has to be criminal elements there. It has to be crime. It has to be something that she got arrested for. And my friends, again, when we look at the facts, we saw this, and we are only reporting from what we saw because we were not with the police. And we were seeing figures, $4.8 million. Imagine this.
I have it here. Look at here.
Call it out, Prem. Call out. I don't want to make a mistake.
Certain people are making allegations against the Commissioner of Police. We are not doing that here. The information that came to us, it is alleged that a search was conducted at the home of the Commissioner of Police. They did not have, under SO, you don't require a warrant.
No.
Right? So they conducted a search at Mrs. Erla's home, and $4.8 million TT dollars were found. I don't know how true that is. 644,000 US dollars were found there, and 150,000 Canadian dollars were found at the home of our Commissioner of Police, Mrs. Erla. Now, again, that is alleged. Sentinel Media is not taking any blame or any lawsuit for that.
If we look at the total number of TT dollars that has been alleged found in the Commissioner's premises, it could be equating to around $15 million. When you look at the currency exchange.
Yeah, but Imam, on the flip side of that coin, $3.6 billion has disappeared from Trinidad and Tobago. And the Minister of Finance, who is responsible for that money, he is not answering. And the Privy Council has ruled, just this week, the Privy Council has ruled that the Minister of Finance should be investigated, should be brought to answer for that missing money. But here we see, in Trinidad and Tobago, it seems that no one, even the opposition, is pressing that matter. Okay? Now, Imam, more things are happening in our country. While our Commissioner of Police is being interrogated and is being questioned, and she's under police custody and whatnot, we of Sentinel Media would like to praise our police officers.
Exactly.
Because while the top brass cap is on the floor, our police continue to function without the head.
Yeah,
and they continue to function. It could have been different. They are not allowing the police service to drop or to fall because our officers are diligently chasing after the criminals and providing a safe and secure environment, according to their means and power and authority for our people. Because only yesterday, 3 bandits, while conducting a robbery in Chaguanas, were shot dead by our police. So our police is working.
And when those things happen, right? When those things happen, whether you like it or not, right? Trinidad and Tobago, let's be real. In the international market, we are being sold. And we are being sold as a gang nation. We have been sold as a criminal nation, a nation of crime, a nation of mayhem, a nation of unruly leaders, right? And I tell you something, you and I today, we have an opportunity that is knocking on our doors. Trinidad and Tobago, listen carefully. We have an opportunity that is knocking on our doors. And at this point in time, I know for a fact that some of you, not the multitude, some of you are claiming that if an election is called tomorrow, the PNM is going to go back into power. And if that is the case, my friends, then you're going to realize it is going to be a sad, sad state for our country, Trinidad and Tobago. Because I want to pull a rationale that the finance minister, that he is using, my friends, to generate, he using this as a tactic, right, as a strategy to generate funding for our country, Trinidad and Tobago. That is, Director, see if you could just pull that tax amnesty thing. of police is going, right? But you know something, the Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago, he's disappointed. He's disappointed for what? I can't understand that.
He is disappointed on himself.
Exactly.
On himself.
That is what I said.
He should be ashamed of himself.
Right? Knowing for a fact that we saw this and we have been calling Ola out. We have been calling Ola out on this program for the past 2 years and a half. And this is another term here again.
28,000 applications for firearm that has already been investigated by the police, and the files are on her desk. You're not signing one, but you want to sign 2 sniper rifles to be brought into the country. And that is where you got trapped.
And that is such, I'll tell you something, the blunders that people error and the blunders that they make. Sometimes, I'll tell you something, you could be in the mightiest of towers. You see those big towers behind there? You could be on the top floor of that towers. Right? And you make your decision. You understand? You're making decision to suit your own whims and your own fancies. You're going to get catch out.
Director, you have that video where the former commissioner was advising on this thing?
Yeah. Bring on Gary. Bring on Gary.
Yeah.
So let me explain what happened. There's a technicality. The weapon was sniper weapons, rifles that Roger Best was trying to get for the Defense Force. But technically, the SSA is a civilian organization. So the SSA cannot and should not be purchasing that type of weapon, even if they were purchasing it for the Defense Force. So it was an administrative blunder. And the thing is, that's why Ola Christopher should never have been a commissioner, whereas ministers have to.
So my friends, there you have it from the former commissioner of police on the reasons why Mrs. Ola, our present commissioner of police, is under arrest. All right? Now, I was going through the Firearms Act this morning, home imam.
Right.
And any weapon that that could be classified as fully automatic or assault should not be in the hands of citizens. It is a military weapon. So that's the point Gary Griffith was making there. So Mrs. Ola probably just, I had to say, is an oversight or she did not know. All right?
Prem, you can't, if it's an oversight.
But you have your advisors.
And if you didn't know, then the whole cabal, the whole institution
should resign. Has failed, exactly.
And the call that Kamala is making would have been a clear-cut call that these people are not fit to hold office like that.
There should be no mistakes at that level, You're right,
Exactly,
no mistakes. No mistakes.
You should have people
advising you,
reading it, going through like, I tell you something, as you talk about that, right? You talk about that. The government of the day are hiring companies. They are hiring companies in our country to modify. You know what they plan to do? They plan to redevelop by putting up signs. And Mamagai people in Trinidad and Tobago by putting up new signs. And even so much so, these people cannot even spell avenue. They cannot even spell Lavantil. And you know something?
Yeah,
when you look at
wait a minute.
Oh, God,
wait a minute. Everybody, including the laborers who putting up that sign, none of these blunderhead see that the word avenue was spelled wrong by.
That alone.
Spanish people have to point it out to them in the old country, in an English-speaking country.
Oh my Lord!
God.
Oh my Lord! Trinidad and Tobago, we want to say something to you all here. The buck stopped with us, right? We have an opportunity coming pending upon us in just a couple of months. We are in February, March, April, May, June, July, August. In 5 months' time, our election is going to call. And the chances are, as I said before, if the United National Congress, at this point in time, my friends, where it is that the United National Congress is going to get the extra 2 seats to form a government. Where?
They are showing no direction and giving no information on that. And now, one more thing, Imam, just know.
I want to dissect something.
Last week, Friday, there was screening for candidates to represent the Shogunas West constituency and the Naparima constituency at UNC headquarters in Shogunas. Our Reverend Imam, myself, and many others like us were present there. The current MP for Shogunas, Dennis Rambali, was screened. That is Friday gone. Today, Saturday, is exactly 1 week. Why wasn't the result published as yet?
No, I tell you something. They don't have to publish any results because I gave the results last week.
So it was published already.
That was already published on this program. Hardfacts.
Let the people of Shogunas West know who is the candidate that was chosen by the screening committee to represent them, and let the person start their campaign.
All right, and hear me good. Trinidad and Tobago, listen carefully. Now, if, be as it may, Jolene John is selected, right? we looking at the cosmopolitancy of our party, the United National Congress, right? We had a guy by the name of Obika.
O'Neill.
Right? No, Obika, Tahaka Obika.
Oh, Tahaka,
right?
yes.
Now, he was part of the emblem of the African descent
Diaspora.
and diaspora in our country, representative of the United National Congress Party. He chose greener pasture and he jumped across, and he is serving as, I think, a special emissary for some embassy in South Africa or something like that. When we look at the composition of the United National Congress, let us be real. Let us be real.
That's a good point you're making.
I want to
That's
tell
a
you
strong
something.
point.
Let us be real here. This country is divided between African and Indian people. African and Indian people.
And both parties are labeled.
And so much so, Prem, so much so, even we saw this from the Mahasabha end, that they are claiming that the United National Congress have embarrassed
the Hindu
community. And how that is so, I think that was the president of the Mahasabha.
Yeah, the Secretary General.
The Secretary General. And you know, he dissected properly that if Patricia Hussain, the mother of Stuart Young, was a Muslim or is a Muslim, I don't know, he should have been named Muhammad or he should be named Yusuf or something like that, which is truth. But you know, when you all put that, Rajesh and Ramesh and all these things there, you are identifying now
with the Hindu
with
community.
the Hindu community, yeah. and that is the reason why we have a caller. Let's see the call. Caller.
Hi. Good day.
Good day.
Great show. I would like to say I am fearful every day in this country. Crime is totally out of control. No way is safe. The leaders have failed us, and only hard facts is our voice. Keep up the good work.
Thank you very
much for your words of inspiration and concern for your safety and the safety of everybody in this country. You are a brave young person. Keep it up. Yes, Imam, as you were
and not
saying.
only that, we're trying to dissect something here.
Yes.
The question here, right? Listen, Trinidad and Tobago, and you all, if you don't stand up and you don't identify, because I tell you something, we're going to get the 18 or 9, the 19 seat might be hard. You see that Maruga Tableland seat, and I've been telling you, we have been dissecting that. I've been telling you that the PNM has been woken on that seat. You understand? And chances are, the communities that Ummah TNT work tirelessly with, they're not going to come out and do that anymore for the party itself, because they did it. They did it, and not one phone call in the past 5 years.
Of appreciation or thanks.
Not a phone call. You understand? And when we talk here, we talk about this, we are not vexed. I would like to see the United National Congress come into power.
But how is that going to happen?
But the point here is that how are they going to come into power when you are taking, I think the party have two African faces. The United National Congress have two African faces. And you know what? You are going to move that two African faces for safe seat to come in here to make it look as an equilibrium or a balance, right? Now you're going to take Jolene John and put her in a safe seat, whether it be Shogunas West, whether it be wherever you are, and the other African individual who you are selecting. Again, my friends, when you look at the identity of the United National Congress, my point here is, where is it we are going to pull? Where it is we're going to pull the next 3 seats, knowing for a fact that these people are of a different ethnicity.
Ethnicity.
Yeah. Right? So my friends, Trinidad and Tobago, we have to dissect this properly. Right? We are talking about tribalistic voters. That is the point that I'm making here. If you move Jolene...
And you know something, Imam, you're 200% correct. Because tribalistic voting is what decides the results of the election. You understand?
You tell me, right, when we look at the corridor, the East-West corridor, it have 18 seats there. In that corridor there, 18 seats. And we know for a fact that the United National Congress have not won any. And here it is, we are looking for, you are making, bluff. You are bluffing. Why you don't call the election now? If they call the election now,
you're going to lose.
I am telling you, people are saying this on the ground. I don't know if people, your advisors, the Honorable Kamala Prasad Bisesa, your MPs are not telling you this. But some drastic measure has to be taken to really and truly woo, to maneuver, to win those other 3 seats so that we in Trinidad and Tobago could get a government that will really and truly work for the people. We're not saying that the United National Congress never worked for the people. When you look at the track record of the United National Congress, yes, they work hard and they did things for the country and people were happy. Even so much so, the same person who you call, Prem, who was asking the question to Roger Monroe, what is it that they're going to do for the youths? What plans you have for the youths? I tell you something, Roger Monroe cannot answer that on the field.
No, he did not answer.
He cannot answer that in the field.
Yeah, he went blank when the woman posed that question
How
to him.
they could answer that is because they have to go and caucus that. What is it that he don't know?
Somebody have to tell them what to say.
You understand? You need to be advised before you could make a proclamation like that. If you ask any of the United National MPs, United National Congress MPs, a question like that, they cannot answer too. They cannot answer. You ask them, they cannot answer simply because not because they don't want to answer, because they are fearful that if they answer and it is correct, that's a problem. And if they answer and it is wrong, it is a bigger problem.
Yeah.
So that is what they are faced with. I tell you all, political parties...
Imam, that is dictatorship. That is not democracy.
Prem,
on both sides of the political divide.
Look, I tell you something. We were there Wednesday. We know Friday. We were Friday. And I think for Naparima, there is approximately 20 candidates vying for that position. You tell me something. You tell me something. Which one of those candidates that came there, right, really and truly has he know it or the wherewithal beside this girl Vidya?
You mean Miss Lashmi Diyal?
Yes.
Yeah.
Who? And chances are, whenever you have the intellectual capacity,
you will not be chosen.
You don't be selected. Yeah. You know that and I know that. Men like Dinesh Rambali, Anita Haynes, Rushtan Pare, right? And Rai Ragbear and Rodney Charles. Why did you think they were kicked out? Because you know why? They were expressing their desire for changes to happen in the country, not in the party alone, in the country.
Correct, Imam. I want to say, as a voter of the Shogunas West constituency, I would like to know who is the candidate that is going to represent me and represent Shogunas West in general elections and in parliament come the next general election. Why are you holding back that information?
And
is it because that the selection committee has chosen a candidate who is not approved by the leader of the party? Is that the reason why you all are not releasing the names of the people?
And you know something, what I saw, listen how political parties run their selection and the campaign. You're going to select a person, right? You're going to select a person to become an MP. And before that happens, you know what you're going to do? You're going to call the constituency executive first. On the very said day. The very said day, you're going to call the constituency executive. And most of the constituency executive, they don't see eye to eye with
the MP. And never work with the MP.
That is the political divide that is created when there is party politics. When leaders would tell them, don't work with the MPs. Don't work with the MPs. And I tell you something, who vex laws? That is the truth. Look at Shogunas West.
There was an individual, news coming to our studio here. There was an individual appointed by the United National Congress to pay attention to every WhatsApp message or every TikTok video released by the Shogunas West MP and other MPs in the party and report back to the political leader.
Now, I tell you something. If an MP make a statement, right, and the statement is contradictive, and it is disheartening to the party and so forth, right? Nothing wrong. You reprimand them. You should have a disciplinary committee.
That's it.
You should have a committee. That is the structure of the party. Call them, pull them aside. But those things are not happening. Those things are, you see what is happening in our country at this point in time? I want to say hats off to the TDPS. I want to say hats off and kudos to those persons who are investigating that misdemeanor, if you want to call it, where the Commissioner of Police in Trinidad and Tobago was arrested, right, and charged with 2 criminal offenses. That has to be done in all realms, all circles of our institution in Trinidad and Tobago, even so much so in the political foray. Now, we're not hearing, you know something? It seems as though it's a silence atmosphere when it comes to the government of the day. I want to find out something. Is this situation here not something that warrants statements from the different entities of the government? My friends, Trinidad and Tobago, let us dissect it. Is what the Prime Minister saying something that is wrong?
You're raising a Japanese here, you know.
Yeah, is it wrong that the police, they are investigating a matter that involves the Commissioner of Police? So that position here, the Commissioner of Police, that is an untouchable position. The Prime Minister position is untouchable. The President position is untouchable. Minister's position is untouchable. My friends, we voted for you all, and you have to work for us because we paying your salaries. And when the Minister of Finance using tactical, guerrilla warfare kind of way to retrieve taxes, when he talking about amnesty, and when he give out amnesty, people rush to do that, and the people rush to pay. Where is the $3.6 billion that went missing? We're not going to give you any amnesty. We want you to come out there.
Correct.
We want you to come out and let us know where those $3.6 billion went. We want to know that.
A police investigation should be launched
Immediately.
on that immediately.
The same way, the
Yes.
same heat that they have
With Ola.
with Ola, they should jump across with all those errant ministers who are owing and who are doing things on their own. You know something? If you all don't know Trinidad and Tobago, there's something called a minister's permit. And that has to be investigated. When the minister sign off on something, the minister has a privilege to sign a minister's permit. Right? When people, they import stuff and those kind of things. I tell you something, there's a lot of things that the politicians hide in this country. And people are very much scared to come out and talk about it because their life may be involved
Their jobs, their security
by
and safety,
identifying.
yes.
So again, Trinidad and Tobago, this program, Hardfacts, is your program. And we want to thank the 3 callers who called us thus far. And we wish that you all could join with us in the program. Let us know if we are talking rubbish. Tell us we're talking rubbish. If we're talking making sense, join with us and let us make more sense. Let us identify, because I tell you something, I cannot take any government treating me like how they are treating me at this point in time.
Now, my friends, in our country, missing persons continue. Reports of missing persons have been filed at the police stations in Trinidad and Tobago. And then where that, in the Maruga Secondary School, where the student had an altercation with one of the teacher, news coming to us here, I think there's a snapshot of that, the director, where a student was found to be trafficking in marijuana in the school compound. The student was, was searched by a police corporal, and the items were found, and the student is before the courts, I think Monday morning, or probably yesterday, that student had to face the court. So all these things are happening, my friends, and again, we are calling on the Minister of Education. Madam, you have maybe a few months again in office until the date, Parliament will be dissolved and the date for the election will be announced. Please get up from your beautiful seat, your high towers, and attend to our school system, attend to our education system. Bring back that moral, bring back that zest, bring back that bubbling way that our school system was, where students would respect the laws of the school and, be in accordance with the law of the land also. And their objective must be one, and that must be to pass the exams and to, be of some good service to their country, themselves, future families to come, and their parents. So with these words, my friends, we have said, Imam, too much information today. My head is bursting here. So we have come to the end of our program, my friends. It has been a really, really powerful 1 hour. We thank our callers, we thank our viewers, we thank those who are furnishing us with information for today's program. Imam?
Yeah. So again, my friends, those of you who are locked on, right? We have been asking, we have been pleading, we have been lamenting, right? That the situation in Trinidad and Tobago is a really, really sad state that we are living in. And I just want to let you all know, I want to tickle your imagination a bit, and I want you all to really and truly ponder on what we are saying as I close off this program here. We are asking the Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago to call an election now. Call the election now. Call the election now. Right? We are asking that. The United National Congress have 19 seats. The 18th seat, which would have been in Moruga table, and a lot of work was put in to bring home that seat. A lot of work, a lot of work, a lot of work. And I reiterate, a lot of work was put in there by different elements. I'm not saying we bring home the seat, but I'm saying a lot of people made effort and sacrifice, and that seat came home. And all hands were on deck to get 19 seats, and we was in opposition. What did we do in the past 5 years? What did we do in the past 5 years? Why it is that we have to wait for the last 3 months to select a candidate to work in those areas? Huh? Why it is you all don't understand election is every 5 years? And why it is that we don't plan for the succession of victory, so that we, the people who supported the United National Congress, we could attain victory? Huh? You telling me overnight, and that is the term that I want to use. Overnight, we're going to win. We're going to bring home 3 seats. We're going to bring home 3 seats from the corridor. People that's going to work. And let me tell you something. When you look at Stuart Young, who's going to be the next prime minister of this country,
they are working the areas.
They are working. They have everything. They have everything for them. They have the finance. They have the ability to motivate. They have the media behind them. What is it that we have? That is the reason why we suppose from the day we lost the election, the next day we should be on campaign mode.
Imam, just for the information for our viewers, when the People's Partnership Government, headed by Mrs. Kamla Prasad Bisasa, was in government for 2010 to 2015,
yeah,
right? They had 27 or 29 seats, am I right?
Yeah, yeah.
You were in government with 27 or 29 seats, whichever is the correct figure. When the election was called in 2015, how did you lose? Why did you lose? And you dropped to 19 seats. A postmortem should have been done and the results should have been published, right? And then in 2020, you lost again. And 2025 is coming. We hope to see a change in results.
And we hope and pray that we don't want to live in false hope. What is it that you're doing? You bringing in people who are talking about people ears looking like elephant.
What kind of nonsense is that in this day and age, boy?
That people, watch me, people, because of those kind of statements that you are, did Dinesh Rambali, and I speak about Dinesh Rambali, did Dinesh Rambali go in any platform and talk hogwash? Did Dinesh Rambali go in any platform and lament and debase any politicians? Did Dinesh Rambali did anything immoral to be shown on the side? And I tell you something, the Mahasabha at this point in time really and truly is going to make some strong proclamation against the United National Congress for those types of statements that you are using, and then you're going to crawl, and you know you're going to crawl back to the Mahasabha board and say, well, here what, you know, we want you all, you know, give us a candidate and give us your support. And this. No, you have to learn to work. There are going to be mistakes, there are going to be errors, there are going to be findings, and there are going to be shortcomings.
You know, Imam, I have to say this at this point in the program.
We have to do it.
United National Congress, Kamla Prasad Bisasa, deputy political leaders and the national executive, tell this country what wrong did Dinesh Rambali do? Which law did he break? Also with Roshan Pare and Anita Hayes, what wrong did they do that they are being sidelined, that they are being thrown under the bus, that they are not invited and allowed to speak on any UNC political platform? And most likely, they may not be chosen again to represent their constituency.
By not choosing Dinesh Rambali for the Shogunas West seat, right, knowing for a fact that he is capable and he is able to do things to build the communities in this country. Now, tell us something, you know, let me just dissect something. Let me just say something before we close this program. You know, if Dinesh Rambali is not selected, right, and Dinesh Rambali in his own conscience say, well, here what, I want to serve my community. I want to serve the poor, the needy, the wayfarers, the widows, the orphans, the underprivileged in my community. The only way that he could do it
is to get into politics, into parliament by the PNM.
He has to go and join another political entity who would appreciate him. Because the United National Congress doesn't appreciate it. And you know what is going to happen? When that happens, you know what they will say?
Traitor.
The same thing. Same thing. So you know something? You must put a man under the bus, put him in the dog kennel, don't give him no food, don't give him no privilege,
and expect
him to stay quiet. No. I would not do that. I would not allow that. And anybody who is facing any type of atrocities that is going to be perpetrated upon them, I am going to support those people, the underdogs, if you want to classify it. But those people are not the underdogs. They are the above dogs because they are serving and they have done their best.
And they have leadership qualities to stand up against nonsense in their party.
Okay, so my friends, those of you who are locked on, this is your program, Hard Facts. I am your host, Imam Rashid Karim, my co-host, Mr. Premchand Baldev. And nobody, Dinesh Rambali is not paying me. Dinesh Rambali is not giving me one black cent. I saw, I learned, I walked with him. When he was going up when he was going up in Parliament, I told him, I said, you know what he said? He said, Imam, this is our win seat. Let us work outside so that the government and it could be really and truly changed. You understand? Many occasions I said, look, you know, I need to go and work in the marginal seats with Jolene John and this one and that one.
To bring home those seats.
Right? And you know what he said? He said, boy, he said, I wish I could do that.
Yeah.
You understand? He was wishing that he could go and work in the marginal seat so that we can gain victory, because 18 seats is already UNC. If 50% of the people in the 18 seats say we're not voting Kamala's still going to win.
You keep saying 18. Why are you deducting one?
I tell you, I deducting that one seat for a reason. Maruga table, and I deducting that for one reason. You understand? And I'm going to see it. I'm going to see it in fusion. You got to tell us something. If you can't come outside now, before the election, and start motivating the people and moving around, and start developing that connection back, you're going to remain the same way. You're going to be 5 and 5 and 5 years in opposition. And there are people who are waiting on leadership to demise so that they can fill the void. There are people like that. They're glad, you know, some people glad we lost the election because they know for a fact that I am going to gravitate as an individual. I am going to gravitate to the top position, and they're going to move up like that. That's, the hereditary movement can only take place if an individual dies.
Vacates, yes.
Or vacates.
Yeah.
And if that is the case, then you are a weak leader. We had to start a fight. We had to stand up for what is right. In central Trinidad, we get nothing from the PNM. And I'm saying this loud and clear. We have a senator in the area here. We get nothing from the PNM. What does the PNM do for central? We have the worst, you look at it, we have the worst cremation site. We have the worst cemeteries. We don't have a fishing port. We don't have a swimming pool. We don't have a good cricket stadium. We don't have a health center. We don't have a hospital. We don't have nothing. And you know something? We continuously, you know, we barking up the same tree, expecting changes. We're not going to get any change.
And that goes for all the other constituencies.
Yeah, we have to stand up. You have to stand up if PNM doing something good, but PNM not doing anything good. PNM not doing, the only alternative that we have right now is the United National Congress. But when you look at the state of the United National Congress at this point in time, it clearly shows that we are going back in the opposition. And take that and smoke it, man. That is the truth. Who vexed with me, vexed with me. You understand? I'm telling you the truth here. Kamala Prasad Bisasa have to understand that. You have to start showing respect. You have MPs. You can't have MPs come in. They come in for screening and they come in 6 o'clock in the evening. I mean, what nonsense is that? You come in for 6 o'clock. You telling the MP screening is at 6:30 and you doing screening half past 11.
In the night. Yes.
And you're doing screening 1 o'clock in the morning. Why it is that you cannot be, you know, you want to be precise. Be precise. You understand? This screening thing is a sham, you know. You all have to understand that the candidates have already been selected, and they are all the safe seats, the 18 safe seats, that has already been selected. Who vexed with me, lost. That's your business. If you want to remain in opposition, go right ahead. I'm telling you, I'm not going to remain in no opposition. We have to get up, we have to fight, and ensure that the United National Congress retain, you know what, retain our 22 seats that we need for victory and win this election.
Well said.
I thank you, and I say goodbye to you all, Trinidad and Tobago.